Hey, you know, until you've received one of these flags or had the opportunity to salute it as it lay across the casket of one of your brothers in arms or someone that you may have trained, mentored, or learned from, or maybe someone who saved your life in combat, and you watch that flag, their flag-covered casket, loaded onto the back of a C-130 aircraft where someone flies his or her dead body home, takes the flag from his casket, folds it up all nice and neat like I have it here, and slowly rotates it, slowly turns it, and presents it to his wife, his widow, young son, daughter, mother, or father. You probably wouldn't understand what this symbolizes to those who have. Now, unfortunately, I've experienced this more times than you can imagine. And until you've experienced it personally, you may just think that it's okay to take a knee in disapproval of what this flag represents, rather than stand in solidarity with the men and women, the soldiers who struggled and sacrificed and gave all they had, everything, to make this flag and what it represents the best in the world. But hey, that's a problem for another day. So today, friends, I'm just glad to be here, because according to a Fox News report, the world was supposed to come to an end last Saturday. And I'm glad it didn't, because you probably wasn't ready. Most people weren't ready. Now, last week, if you joined, we talked about learning from our mistakes and failures and using those as a springboard to help you and others achieve victory and improve their lives, because that's what it's all about. And you know, I woke up this morning and it dawned on me that some people are still stuck on step one. They've got a problem that no one has ever taught them to deal with correctly. So that's what we're going to talk about this week. Because it's true. You can't learn from your mistakes and failures until you make a decision, take action, and move past the problem. Now, I've got to tell you, I love helping good folks solve difficult problems. It's what I do. So I'm going to share with you my simple solution, a simple formula for dealing with problems. Because in life, you're either going through a problem, about to go through a problem, or you just got over a problem. And like some of the hurricanes and tornadoes we've been donating to so heavily over the last few weeks, the problems, the storms, they never stop coming. And how you respond will directly impact your success and the success of those around you. Trust me, it makes a difference. And the best thing you can do, if you want to respond appropriately, correctly, the best thing you can do is be prepared for the problem, because it's coming. Now, I used to teach this to military guys headed off to combat in the real world. And I used to tell them to always be ready. You see, if you want to survive in combat or make a living in the real world, you have to expect and anticipate that things will go wrong. You have to expect it. It'll happen. You know, the worst that can happen can always happen. So you have to be prepared and always ready to respond appropriately. So the first thing you have to do is you have to always anticipate the worst thing that can happen before it knocks you off your feet. Now, when I was in the world's finest naval construction force, the world's finest U.S. Navy Seabees, we knew that one of the worst things that can happen anywhere in the world was a nuclear explosion. That's right, you know, that guy, what's his name, Kim Jong-un, or whatever his name is, you know, over in North Korea, Rocket Boy, he loses it and launches a missile straight for your house. And the moment he does that, you'll quickly realize that you've got a problem, a real problem that the NFL and your favorite celebrities can't solve. But guess who can? Yeah, you got it. The world's finest and most underpaid military fighting force. The guys and gals who stand up, salute that flag, and solve real world problems on a daily basis, even the nuclear ones. And here's what I want you to know. You can survive a nuclear explosion just like any other problem. And if it's nuclear, hey, just get low and get low quickly. And after the initial blast, if you're still alive, if you're still around and you're not already in a concrete structure or a basement that can be closed and sealed with supplies for an extended period of time, get to one quickly. in 20 minutes or less, because the problems only get worse if all you do is stand around and watch. But you know, back to what we were talking about. If you can survive a nuclear blast, you can survive anything. So here's the formula to solving your problems. Step 1, always anticipate the worst that could happen. Be realistic. Ask yourself, what is the worst thing that could happen to me in my life right now? Who could die or leave, get fired, killed, or become tragically injured in an accident? And then prepare for the worst. Think about what you're going to do if it happens. Rehearse, walk through your actions mentally, physically, and spiritually if possible. Now, it won't reduce the pain when it happens, but it'll make it a whole lot easier to survive and move through. Step 2, always evaluate the problem mentally before you respond emotionally. You know, people who respond emotionally always have this very, very strange and unique way of making mountains out of molehills. I once heard a guy say that emotional responders are usually the first ones to die of a heart attack over something minuscule, minute, small. So always think mentally before you respond emotionally. Step 3, when you've got a problem, communicate the problem as clearly as possible. And let other people know the type of help you want or need and the desired outcome you have in mind. And if you don't want or need or need any help, or you don't have a desired outcome in mind, don't share the problem simply to get attention, Cap, because 80% of the people don't care, and 18% of the people are glad it's you instead of them. And all they do is talk about you when you're not around. But there's a very, very small percentage of people who care and can help you solve your problems and succeed. But you can't wear them out with every problem that comes up on your Facebook feed, in the news, or in the media. Because if you do, they'll stop caring. And the last thing I want you to do is appreciate the fact that there's a learning lesson in every problem. And you're not always going to respond correctly. We're not always going to make the correct decision. But any problem that doesn't kill you has the potential to make you stronger if you let it and learn from it. Stop making mountains out of molehills and turning away from your problems and running. No, face your problems head on. Evaluate them correctly. Make a decision. Take action. Learn from your mistakes and failures. And join me back here next week as we talk about turning people in the right direction, putting them in the right position to enjoy life and add value to the rest of the team. Until next time, friends.